Hello everyone, Kent.Bressler here. I want to welcome you to Kent's Kidney Stories. During our time together over these podcasts, I'd like to discuss kidney disease. I'd like to tell you about my journey as a transplant patient, but also talk about dialysis, kidney donation, and just about anything else that might be of interest. Kent's Kidney Stories, podcast endorsed and sponsored by kidneysolutions.org. Hello everyone, this is Kent.Bressler, and as I say every time, we're going to do some podcasting. And I've got a great guest today, and we'll talk to her in just a little bit. Wanted to talk to you and remind you that at Kidney Solutions, we're very active in helping others, but we're also very active in education. And we're hoping that you will get your vaccination and get it quickly. It's working. We know that these vaccinations are working. Some of us transplant patients, some of us are building antibodies, and I encourage you to please go get vaccinated. No matter when you listen to this, if you haven't been vaccinated, please do it. Get out there and if your physician agrees with it, then I think it's a good idea that you follow his instructions or hers. All right, let's get started this morning with prayer. Almighty and eternal God, draw our hearts to you, guide our minds, fill our imaginations, and control our wills, that we may be wholly yours, utterly dedicated unto you, and then use us, we pray, as your will, and always to your glory and to the welfare of your people. We pray this in your name, Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen. Okay, so you know how good I am with names, but I've got this one down pat. I have a friend who's sitting right now in London, England, and her name is Nhan Pham, okay? And Nhan I've grown to know her over the past, I'm going to say roughly 3 months, and I'm working very closely with her dad in Florida. He and her mother are living in Florida, Coral Gables area, and he's looking for a kidney. So if you're in that area or anywhere and listening to this, Nhan Pham is looking for a kidney. He's in kidney failure and on dialysis and is in need of a kidney. We're actively working with flyers, but he knows absolutely no one in that area. He's learning more people. He's getting to know more people, but it's very difficult in this COVID era to get out and meet. He's working in Florida. Anyway, we're not going to beat this horse up too hard. He needs a kidney. Okay, Nhan, Phan. You can see him on our website at kidneysolutions.org. Check it out. So Nhan is going to talk to us today about life coaching, an area that I know medically is a very important area. It's shown, especially in the cardiac area with cardiac rehab patients, to be a very, very good way of helping people adjust in life. And she has offered to help our patients at Kidney Solutions. And then we're going to have a group of them who have volunteered and want life coaching. And what she's going to do today is she's going to talk about it, about what it is and what it isn't. So Nhan, good morning.
Hi, Kent. How are you?
I'm fine. Listen, it's a joy to have you on. I just really want to start out by saying that first paragraph that you sent me on, we have a little flyer that we're going to put out to all of our patients. I wanted to read that. Okay.
Okay.
It says, coaching is a partnership of equals, a collaboration based on trust, and open, honest communication. Working with a coach, you can focus on different areas of your life, whether it's career or family, health or finance, any area where you might want more of something. A coach helps you explore new ways of experiencing and navigating life. That's in a nutshell what you do. Is that right?
That's right. That's exactly what life coaching is about. And first of all, I just wanted to say thank you for having me here today. It's really an honor to be part of what you do and having a chance to talk to you and your audience on the podcast today. So thank you.
You're very, very welcome. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. So we're moving forward. Tell me about life coaching. What's in your heart?
For me, really, it's the ability and the chance to help others. And as you said, life has so much to offer, and often we don't get a chance to fully experience it, whether it's because of our own experience or any challenges we have in life. And I really think with life coaching, you can help people to see life differently and to learn skills to actually enjoy it. And for me, it's also such a great opportunity and honor, really, to get to know other people, their story, their unique life experiences. And as you just said, to build that partnership where we kind of grow together in life, and also to see how they change their life. They become better people, better, like best version of themselves, and actually get to the next level in life. I mean, you might be happy now, but there might be more. There might be the next level of happiness.
Yeah.
And I think that's what life coaching is about, to help others see that level, understand what that level is for them, and then get to that next level.
Is it kind of a clarification? Is there some kind of clarification there that a person needs?
I think it's a big part of it. So having that clarity of what they want, what they want more of, what they might be missing, it's a big part. I think it's the start of it. So having that clarity about where you are right now in life and what your life is like, and clarity about what it could be like, how you want to see it, let's say in a year, what an incredible year looks like for you and in your life. And often what I find, and I've been there myself, when we're so busy in life, like work and daily routines, often we don't take time to just stop and think about what else is out there, what else do I want, what else would make me happy, what used to make me happy. And with coaching, taking that time and getting that clarity I think is a big step, because then you remind yourself of, oh, this used to make me happy, so why am I not doing this, for example? And these are things that are important to me, and I'm not spending time on this. So the clarity around your priorities and what's really important to you. Yeah.
They always talk about goals, and in my lifetime, if I have to figure out another goal for myself, I'm just going to blow my brains out because it just drives me nuts. Goals, goals, goals. But there is some importance right now for you to work with someone on their goals, because it's not a big blast, right? It's more little things that make the important part of this whole process, right?
Yeah, and it's it's interesting you mentioned goals, because I was just working on goals today, and I was just writing about how important it is to have goals.
Okay, fine.
But I can see where you're coming from, because I was like that as well, because I would set a goal, which probably now looking back wasn't really setting a goal. It was just thinking, I want more of this, and that's it. It's kind of like somewhere there at the back of my mind. But there is a way to set the goals that you'll stick to, that will make a difference to you.
That's the point. There are specific things in your life, you can call them what you want, goals, but there are things that you can look at, focus on, and improve or obtain, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was listening to one of your episodes yesterday. It was the one where you were talking about kidney solutions. And I really like how you were talking about, time management and things like that. And then you mentioned that the important things for you, like praying, exercise, taking care of yourself, taking your meds, and basically eating and taking care of your health, are the important things in your life. So you always find time for that.
Yeah, you carve out time in your life to take care of your kidney. And we're talking about kidney patients here now that you're specifically going to work with, and you know what your father's going through right now.
Yes, exactly.
But once you've had a transplant, it's not over. That's when the work really begins.
Yeah.
You have to dig in, and you have to have things like you're going to provide, because it's difficult. It's not easy. And if you just let it go, poof, you can lose your kidney. It's that simple. So I think this is going to be a very, matter of fact, I know this is going to be a very valuable resource that you're going to provide. It'll take a while to get off the ground, but I'll tell you what, you're going to make a difference. And that's what I appreciate. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. I know we talked about a safe space. Okay. Yeah. Tell me what that means. It's called SAFE, SAFE, safe space. All right. We talk about a kidney space. We talk about staying in your own lane. So what is the safe space?
So it goes back to that relationship that's built on trust. So when a client comes to me, for us to be able to make progress, to work towards the goal, there has to be trust in a relationship. And for me, that trust is built on me holding that. I kind of imagine it's like holding that container for whatever that's on the mind of my client, whatever thoughts they have, emotions, challenges, fears. And I'm there to hold that space, that container, with whatever they want to share, without any judgment, without any saying this is wrong, you have to change it. I'm there to listen, for them to share, to be heard, and the space where I'm trying to understand them and not trying to tell them what to do. Because often what I find, like even in real life, like with me, sometimes you want to share something with someone, even with your closest friends, but everyone either has their own problems at the time, and you just can't find the person to share things with, or someone to hear you out, just to hear your thoughts, just to let it out and just offload whatever it's on your mind. And even things that you think, oh my God, everyone is going to think I'm crazy to think this way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why it's a safe space, just to say whatever is on your mind and to work through that, to follow that train of thoughts without thinking, oh, no one's going to understand me, or I'll be judged, or it's like embarrassed or shame and guilt. So that's what for me is the safe space in coaching.
That's a great way to put it, because it is everybody has dreams, everybody, but when you're sick as people are with kidney disease, they have to have purpose, even when they don't think they need purpose. If they're down in the dumps or anything, purpose is very important. Knowing where you want to go, what you want to do, and having purpose, I think is pretty big in your life, right? And that's part of safe space, is it not?
Yeah, it is. And it's very easy today to lose sight of it. And especially when you don't have that chance to explore and look back. And to me, it's like reconnecting with your heart. Like I know we talk about heart earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
but it's reconnecting to your heart, and that's where your purpose is. And if we keep kind of bottling it and not having a chance to explore it and kind of dig it out, it can be very difficult, like to see your own purpose in life and just completely forget about it.
So in essence, a life coach, as you are, having someone who is in their safe space, you're just discussing there, and that's all confidential. That never goes anywhere. And
Yes, it's all
that's very important, because if you
Yeah.
don't have confidentiality in this conversation, you're not going to get anywhere. That's the trust part of it.
Yeah.
And what's important in my mind is the fact that you allow that person in their safe space to say what they want.
Yeah.
And then you can help them redirect maybe some of their thought process, at least to give it some thought, consideration. You don't tell them what to do. You just give them ideas, options.
Yeah.
That's what kidney patients need. They've always needed options, because there's too many people telling you what they have to do or what they should do, but they never get options. Now, I shouldn't say the word never, but it's hard to get people to understand. Give somebody an option or several options, let them make the decisions. They're going to be a lot happier with that, right?
Yeah. It's always, I mean, it's the human nature. If you're told to do something, it's like you have to do it. We have that resistance.
Right.
But when it's your choice and you want to do it, it's a different picture. It's a different story.
Yeah.
And I think that's where coaching really helps. And I've been there myself when I've been a coach, for example. Just saying things out loud opens up so many options.
Saying it out loud.
Yeah, it's saying out loud. It's either you start thinking, oh, this doesn't make any sense. Now I said it out loud. Or when you say it out loud, it's like, oh, I could do this. Oh, there's another option I could do.
Yeah,
But
there you go.
Having that space where you can just focus on the thoughts without any other distractions. And then as a coach, I can give a different perspective or nudge in a different direction to explore more of those options.
Right. Not to dictate, to explore.
Yeah.
That's important. That's the point. You're exploring, because you can't, in other words, like you said, you can't tell somebody what to do. It's like telling a 3-year-old, you can't do that.
No.
I'll tell you what, someone with kidney disease is kind of in that space because they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They have to know that their options are.
Yes. And the way I see it, I'm in no place to tell anyone what they should do. Because at the end of the day, you know your life better.
Oh,
I know my life better. We can explore the options together, but at the end of the day, it's your choice in terms of what you're going to do with all the options that are available.
Yep. You're an option maker. That's good. Yeah. You know, they have that like a dog whisperer or a cat whisperer. You actually have an option. You're option based, and that's wonderful. That's what we look for. That's what kidney patients want. They want options.
Yeah.
So, okay. This is also strength based. You mentioned that that a coach actually helps you realize your strengths. And when you're a kidney patient, especially when you're headed toward dialysis or headed toward transplant, you don't really know what your strengths are. You know, maybe, but you just don't think you have those anymore because you're so darn sick. All right. Sickness overlays everything. Yeah. And this is a predominant emotional, physical, and emotional, physical, and mental process where when you're sick, you don't have that joy to veer. You don't have the strength to persevere, and that needs to be built. You still have it. You just have to build it up. Is that what that strength-based means?
Yeah. So we all have strengths, as I truly believe in that. And like talking about kidney patients, I mean, to me and listening to your podcast, just the emotional strength that the patients have, I think it's incredible. And I think it's often about turning that perspective to remind them that they have so much strength already in them to go through this, to be able to deal with the whole process of being diagnosed with the kidney disease and still juggling their life. But often we focus too much on the bad stuff, and we
That's
forget
right. Thank
everything
you
that's
for that.
good about us, all the strengths that we have. And having, like, I'm a big believer now of being having self-compassion, and that also links to remembering all the strengths that you have. And it's often just can be as simple as reminding about the things that you've already done that taps into your strength and your inner resources that's already there, but we just choose to forget about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's where the strength base come from. It's not trying to even just learn new skills, but reminding and building on all the skills that that already are there and have always been there with you, but you just kind of put it on the shelf and forget about it.
Right. You just sometimes you don't even have the energy to endure. You don't have that energy to really work on those things. And having
Yeah.
somebody like you will help. You know, the thought I just had a thought, and it just went right away from me. Anyway, we have a common when I talk to the patients, a lot of them I say, don't beat yourself up. You didn't ask for this, number one, all right?
Mhm.
But it's something you have, so you have to deal with it. Kidney disease is not something that's going to go away. You have it, period. If you've been diagnosed, you have kidney disease. Then you have to deal with it. Thus, all the strengths that have got you to where you are need to be built upon. You have to be stronger, a stronger person,
Yeah.
because you have an illness that it's pretty progressive, and in some cases it can kill you. So let's be honest with it, and let's deal with it, and let's work day to day to make it better. And that's what you do. I've read all your stuff here, buddy, and I really like it. Okay, and I think this is going to work.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about what life coaching is not. Okay, I mean let's talk about it. Can't all be joyous and great and all this kind of stuff, but there are some things that it's not. Can you explain some of those to us?
Yes, I guess one of the things that my clients, when they first talk to me, they always say, but how can you give me advice if we have very different experiences? And I think that's the one thing that I'm not there to give specific advice or tell you what to do, like we were talking earlier. It's like I can give suggestions from time to time, but it's really I'm there to guide my clients, help them to find the answers for themselves,
Yes.
but not to give directives in terms of go do this, and this.
Right.
It just doesn't work that way.
It's
Okay.
similar. It's similar to when they tell you, you're not a doctor, so don't tell them, don't give them medical information. There are a lot of things you can do that aren't, quote, not medical information, like experiences, life experiences. That what's worked for you may not work for somebody else, but at least it's worth a try. If it doesn't work, you just discard it.
Yeah, like I can share my experience or what I've learned just for reference, but it doesn't mean what worked for me, as you said, would work for someone else. And they know their life better. They know their circumstances better than I do. And the other thing is the difference between coaching and therapy. So a lot of people like, what's the difference there between coaching and therapy? It sounds very similar to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But for me, first of all, to be a therapist, you have to be a medical professional, which I'm not. So I'm not there to diagnose my clients or to give any medical advice. And coaching is, as we were talking, is more strength-based. So building on the strengths of my clients, whereas therapy often tries to restore an emotional state or a function in the patient, and it's more looking at the past and the history and trying to understand why are you feeling this way, or maybe why you're experiencing this pain or trauma. And coaching is more looking at the present and the future, and looking at outcomes that the clients want to achieve. So I think that's the key difference between therapy and coaching as well.
So let's take a look at your dad, for instance. We can use him as an example because I've been working with him. He has one major goal in mind, and that's to get a transplant, right?
Yeah.
And in all honesty, that's the only thing that really is going to be a long-term benefit to him. And so that may sound like that would be something difficult, or in some cases, something easy. Well, let me tell you, when he needs that, he knows that he's going to go after, he's going to put all of his energy into it.
Mm-hmm.
He is not any different than anybody else. The energy is, let's go find a donor. And I encourage that. I want them to do that. I want them to be focused on that position. We call it staying in your own lane and focusing on one thing, and that's to get a transplant.
Yeah.
All right. Do what you're supposed to do, but you're focused on finding that donor. All right. And so that opens everything up. And that's what your life coaching does. You're going to provide some opportunity here to say, hey, look, what are your options? How are you going to do this? So let's dig in on that so you can really focus on it.
Yeah.
And that's what's needed, especially in a donor search, is focus.
Yeah, exactly. It's once you know that goal, and it's important to have that right goal that will keep you going no matter what. And it can be linked to your purpose, as we were talking earlier, or it can be linked to the most important priorities in your life. But a goal that's going to keep you laser focused on doing whatever it takes and committing your energy and time to it, and finding a way to make it happen.
There's an old saying in the kidney community: if you don't have kidney disease, you can't expect to know what it's like. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't preclude or eliminate somebody who doesn't have it from helping you. Right?
Yeah.
Give me some insight into that. You don't have kidney disease, you have somebody that does.
Yeah.
So you can still, as life coach, offer a lot of things. You don't have to have the disease, quote, you don't have to have kidney disease to talk about kidney disease, right?
No, I don't. And at this point, I think I must say how much I really admire what you are doing and support you giving to all your friends. Like, you don't call them your patients, your friends at Kidney Solutions. Because it's one thing to have a life coaching supporting you in life and getting your goals, but having the support of the community of people who've been through that, it's very different. And I think that's incredible what you and your team are doing for all your friends out there. And yeah, I don't have to have the same experience, but being a coach, it's a lot about having that empathy for your client. Yes, empathy and understanding your client, and listening to them, because a lot comes from that. That's where you build. That's where I build a connection and trust with my clients. If I listen and understand them and show empathy, that's a lot of times what people need.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Empathy is so important. Not sympathy, empathy. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
You're a mentor. You use the term in your flyer, a mentor. I am too. And there's a big difference between being a mentor and an advocate. Speaking up. Mentoring means that you're at the same level with the individual. Not knowing it all, but at least having some insight. And mentoring is the most important thing of this whole process. You become a mentor when the person that you're working with accepts you, not when you accept them. You go in with an acceptance. It's when they accept you.
Yeah.
I think we have covered it. Now, I welcome you to the Kidney Solutions family. And I just want to tell you that we're going to do everything we possibly can with your help to find a donor for your dad. And then we're going to stay with him afterwards. We're going to give him what he needs to keep that kidney going. All right. It's like we do with all of it. All of them. The picture I showed you of Joey this morning, here he is, not even 24 hours out, sitting up in the bed and looking like he's ready to go fishing. That's what I want to see with your dad. It's what I want to see with all of our friends. I want to see it for everybody. This is just going to be a great part of their process, of their journey. We'll call it the coaching journey. And I can't think of anybody more qualified than you. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm really grateful to be here. And I think it wasn't a coincidence that I came across Kidney Solutions and you earlier this year. And I know it's only been 3 months maybe that we've known each other, but it does feel like I've been on this journey with you for a long time now.
Hey, me too. We've talked about this at length. You're just a joy. I mean, you're pleasant. Sometimes I wish we did do this in video, but people would get tired looking at my ugly face. But you're just absolutely, you're beautiful inside and out, and that's what people need. All right. You use this in your coaching technique. You use Zoom, right? You do Zoom with people. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's how you do the process. Is there any other tips, or maybe not tips, but are there ways you can explain how you're going to meet the patient or the family members, or how you're going to work with your clients? You do Zoom, right? And
yeah, it's mainly Zoom, given where we are at the moment, and also because all of your patients are in US and in London. It's over Zoom, but I'm also flexible. So some of my clients prefer not to have videos, and that's absolutely fine. Or we can do a call, like
phone call,
Zoom or
Zoom call,
FaceTime or whatever works. There are ways. I mean, technology nowadays can sort out anything.
Well, you can text too. You do a lot of texting, a lot of emailing. That's just the way life is nowadays. All right. But this contact that we have, where we get to talk to each other, is the most important.
Yeah.
If you have people, and I do, that are deaf, like Joey is, where you have to, Joey is now become a good friend, but my fingers get raw every time I work with him because we have to do texting because he doesn't hear. So, but what's interesting about it is it's making me want to learn sign again. I used to do a little bit of really small amount of signing, and maybe if I'm going to go fishing with him, I'm going to have to be able to sign with him. so he knows what I'm talking about. Okay, listen, we're going to, again, welcome. And I want you to stick around just a minute. I'm going to talk to my folks out there, and then I'll say goodbye to you. All right. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for coming on.
No, thank you for having me.
All right. All right, folks. I really hope that you'll share this podcast. I want you to listen very carefully to it. It's some very important information. And Kidney Solutions is here for you. We really do this all, on a volunteer basis. I want to thank all the volunteers that are working with Kidney Solutions now. Jason Nunez, who's doing the podcasting for me, the engineering on it. Jonathan Trailer, who's a transplant patient. Both of these guys are transplant patients. Jonathan's doing a fantastic job on their social media side. Marilyn Garcia, who's been an absolute asset to this whole thing. She's doing the website and working with it, along with Deborah Pelaez and Jackie. Jackie's been working really hard on our newsletter. I want you to sign up for that if you can on our website. Go to kidneysolutions.org. And when you listen to this podcast, please rate it. Give me some signs of whether you like it or don't. I can take both. And please share it with people. It's how we get the word out. All right. Thank you so much. And remember, we don't live for here. So in the interim, till I see you again, keep breathing.